Hello, collective. It's G here with Golden Thread Tarot. Excuse me. I am here. I'm just lighting this piece of Palo Santo here. I am here to bring you a collective message, okay? Of peace, love, light, and guidance for you guys. I was hearing like a change in the love energy surrounding you guys. So a change in the love energy. Wow. And then I didn't even see where this ended right when I was shuffling it, but it ended on the lovers, like a union energy. Okay. So choice. Really bringing about like, I'm having like a new choice. I really feel like it's a new choice around how you choose to love yourself and how you choose to see love and how you choose to allow that to kind of color the way you view love and the way that you it's like cleansing energy here for you guys around this collective message. I really love that. We've been really focusing a lot more here on the self in my readings here recently, a lot more of the collective readings, because I just feel more guided to feel like if you concentrate on yourself, if you concentrate on the love and the light and your cleansing energy, you know, that's just gonna bring about more positive vibrational energy for you, right? Concentrating on how the other person feels and how other people feel in your life really just I see it has a tendency to just keep you in karmic energy. So I'm kind of changing around that kind of thing here on the channel. So I'm gonna keep letting that do what it does. So yeah, this inner child healing was really standing out to me. So inner child healing 722 on the real time clock is really standing out to me as well. So the numbers 7, the numbers 22. You might be seeing the numbers 22 a lot, okay, or 55 or 555 union. You can learn as you learn to embrace yourself. You are truly embracing your twin union is here, right? Wow, right? So with that ending on this union on the back here, right, as well. And with the moon card behind that lovers card, I really feel just like it's like lifting of illusions around love, around self-love, on needing to feel completed with another person. You know, empath, you can feel each other's emotions. It's this feeding off of each other's emotions, or feeding off of other people's emotions and other people's fears and doubts, and like really learning how to have, you know, divine blessings. You've been doing a lot of shadow work here recently, and that's bringing about this whole divine blessing for you into your life because of this shadow work that you are, you know, the shadow work has been like a divine blessing, or the shadow work that you're doing is bringing a divine blessing into your life, right? And it's bringing you all this inner child healing is bringing you into union with a much more healed version of your inner child, right? You know, it's quieting your shadow self. It's quieting your ego self. It's learning how to, you know, not act out of your shadow, right? Guidance, enlightenment, healing, right? And it's all part of this with the surrender with the divine plan here. Yeah, it's all about releasing this past energy, releasing these old thought patterns around union, around love. It's a lot of shadow work energy that you had to do here, all wrapped up in love. It's like I'm seeing like a heart, like all wrapped up in this kind of like, it's kind of like dripping and like all this dark kind of energy that's kind of like swirling around it. And it's like, I just see somebody just like, just like blowing it away. Hey, calm down. Yeah, exactly. It's this releasing and learning how to manifest from and getting grounded from this codependent energy, right? This letting go of the thought that you need anyone else to feel complete. You are a whole, not a half, right? It's this, I feel incomplete without you, or without love, or without this, something that I was missing from my childhood, right? I feel incomplete without this. And it's about releasing it and learning how, and really learning really how to let go of it, and to really move on from that, you know? The moon. And here, this moon card has Anubis on it as well. Pisces energy as well. Piscean energy with the moon, right? Inner child healing union. The universe, right? The universe is giving you like this new vision of yourself, right? See how this eye here is like shining this light here? And see how, and you know, it's like the universe shining. See how this like snake energy is here? It's all like coiling mass here that was like wrapping around you, right? It's like the universe shining this bright light here on your shadow side of yourself, right? To heal this deep inner part of yourself, these inner, you know, inner wounds around union that you had. Trust issues. I'm really hearing really loud, like trust issues around really trusting someone. Yeah, around really trusting the universe. At one, trusting the universe to bring you an Ace of Cups, and whether or not you felt like you deserve to have this Ace of Cups, right? Whether or not you deserve to have this brand new beginning, whether or not you really, for some of you even, like, do you even truly really believe in that true love energy down inside of you, right? Wow. Okay. Spirit wants me to pull. Oh no. Excuse me. Thanks for poking me in my eyeball. My dog just like nosed me, like as I was going down, and nosed me right in my eye. And I'm like, what? Can you not do that, please? No, ma'am. Okay. We just came inside. We just came inside. No, ma'am. Get back, baby. Get back. Mommy's. Yeah. Okay. So this Ace of Cups energy. Shh, excuse me. No, no. Ace of Cups energy, please. Tell me more about this Ace of Cups. So the Three of Cups. I am celebrating with others. Okay. Collaborating with others, celebrating with others here. I really feel like you had some people around you that really, you might have had friends or had family members that had a lot of karmic relationships, or they were stuck up in karmic cycles themselves. And you had a lot of people around you, and you just felt like it was normal to think, it was normal to have this vision of this kind of toxic relationship, or this time, you know, it's like, it's okay to overlook some toxic qualities in your partner. It's okay to think that, you know, it's okay not to think that, you know, I don't know, there's just all this, like, you know, it's like being rowdy and drama and all of this stuff and fighting. It's like a relationship should be fighting. A relationship should be hard, you know. A relationship should be easy, and Spirit is here telling you, like, true love, real high vibrational love is just easy. I was having I'm getting back out into the dating scene. I was having this conversation with my friend about about getting out there and making like dating profiles and things, and she was talking to me, you know, just giving me some relationship advice, and I was telling her some things that I really want, that I've realized in my healing journey that I really want in a partner. And she was like, well, you know, relationships are about compromise, and relationships are, you know, they're not. And I was like, I really want my relationship to be easy. And she was like, relationships aren't easy. And I kind of had this moment where I was like, no, I want my relationship to be easy. Like, no, I want my relationship to just flow. We get taught by, you know, by our parents and by other people that relationships that just flow, you know, that you just get along with them, that you just get along with people in their family, that you know, that are just easy, that just work, you know, that they're kind of, it's almost like the sense of like they're boring. Like, I would get bored of, you know, just of there not being some kind of in the end, it's toxicity, right? Because a relationship where things are easy shouldn't feel like this foreign concept that is that you're unable to reach, right? Um, and I was telling her there are some things that in establishing my boundaries, I have found that there are some things that I don't want to compromise on, and I don't mean like, oh, I like pizza, I hate pizza. Fuck you, don't ever message me again. I don't mean things like that, right? Like, yeah, there are small things, but the big things, yes, you have to find like a balance on. But I told her that I realized in my past relationships that I told myself, oh, keep an open mind. And what, oh, compromise. That on the caveat of compromising, what I was actually doing was crossing my own boundaries. Crossing my own boundaries about what I expected from my partner, what I expected from myself. And that and that's my issue. But I was under the sense of, oh, keep an open mind, be forgiving, be compassionate, be understanding. There is a other side to those things where it's like you're not letting yourself, like you're talking yourself into compromising and walking over your boundaries and crossing over um, things that you're like, no. And in the beginning, you're like, no, like I no, no, and then you start going, well, I really love this person and I don't want them to walk out of my life. And what if they say no? And what if they don't want to meet my expectations? And what if, and that's built on your own insecurities of feeling like, or on your own our own social structures that tell you, a relationship is supposed to be hard. A relationship is supposed to be work. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't complications that come up in relationships, because there are, because that's, life happens. And there are moments where you have to find like, okay, I view like this. I'm not saying that our partner or, like a future spouse can't have differing opinions than me, but there are things that I don't want to compromise on. That's what I told her. I was like, she in her relationship, she's been married to her husband for 10 years, and they were together for like a year or two before they got married, I think, or a couple of years before they got married. And I'm like, you now 10 years into your relationship put a big emphasis on compromise. I'm at the very beginning of dating, and I should set my boundaries really hard right now, right? I should set my boundaries really hard right now. It's different to tell yourself, oh, I have to compromise certain things because we're 10 years in, we're 3 kids in, we have a house together, we have a home together, all of those things. But we talk about that all the time on the channel. When we talk about love, we talk about how people learn how to compromise their boundaries, learn how to compromise their morality because of all of these, but we have kids together, but we're married, but we're this, and they bend themselves backwards on things that they really shouldn't bend themselves on. And on the end, all that does is build up resentment to your partner, misplaced resentment towards your partner, because they're asking you to be in a place that you don't want to be in. And I told her, like, I'm not going to start my relationship there. I still want to be open minded about the particular person and what they're doing with their life and what culture they come from and things like that, of course, And I can compromise about some things, but I have a lot harder boundaries in my life where I'm just like, no, I don't compromise on that, and I'm not going to. And, I respected her, offering that sentiment to me, but it gave me this really big like it gave me this, and I was really appreciative of her saying that, in the way that it made me have this huge realization that it's like, no. In the past, I viewed, I used the excuse of staying open minded, or compromising to actually, in moments when I was actually allowing my boundaries to be crossed, right? So some of you you might have had people around you that you might have realized that what your parents taught you, or what you saw growing up, or who you see around you, it's like their relationship is their relationship, but maybe I don't want my relationship to be that way, and that's okay. So, be careful whose thought process you're collaborating with and you're taking on as your own, because some of you are really questioning those thought processes that you have really been taught to believe about love, to believe about what it can feel like to actually have this love, you know King of Cups, I love you, but I can't show it. Yeah, right? It's questioning your own sense of how you show yourself love, how you accept people. For some of you, you might have had a really big issue in the past of chasing after people who were emotionally unavailable to prove your worth to yourself and to other people. But, you know, it's kind of like I'm good on it, right? Eight of Wands, I seize opportunities, right? So I really feel like that you are learning how to stop yourself from chasing or redefining how you view love, and understanding that you're going to have to take some risks, that you're going to have to be, that there are some things that you're going to have to target what things you want to be open-minded about and what things are people crossing your boundaries, and learning the difference between those things, right? And those things might be obvious to other people, but maybe they weren't obvious to you because you didn't have such such healthy examples around you of what exactly the type of love. Maybe perhaps you're manifesting in a type of love that you've never experienced before, in doing this inner child healing, right? Shining a light on the shadow side of you is shining a light on the shadow side of how you viewed love in general, right? And how you viewed union and what you viewed a relationship to be. Right? Okay. Ten of Pentacles in reverse, wealth in reverse, and defeat. Right? So maybe what you actually saw, you know, it's like maybe people around you had a very defeatist mindset about what love and unions and relationships actually were, right? And so you're having to learn how to redefine that for yourself, right? And to not let other people's version of love become your version of love, especially if your friend or your family, or they say something like, well, you know what, you need to just be okay with that because you're never going to find somebody that acts like that or does that, you know. Or you had, you know, your mom or your dad say something, you know, like they're all men are cheaters, or all women are, you know, all women are loose, or something like that. Maybe you're having to redefine that kind of shadow, and you're really doing this shadow work, right? On those kind of negative beliefs that were put into you. Six of Cups, pleasure. I'm hearing what wondrous delights. What wondrous delights. So I really feel like you are learning new ways to bring pleasure into your life. You know, Six of Cups is also a big, you know, it's a big childhood card. It's also a card of union as well, right? You might have also been really doing some shadow work around the thoughts of pleasure. Ooh, prudence. Okay, Eight of Pentacles, prudence. And it really kept you here in the sense of abundance in reverse, right? Abundance in reverse. This Three of Cups, sorry. Three of Cups in reverse. That Three of Cups, right? I talked about that. Letting go, right? Letting go of what other people tell you. Oh, this is the way you get a relationship. Oh, this is the way that you get a man. This is the way that you get a woman. You have to be like this. You have to treat them like this. You have to think about the opposite sex like this, or think about, you know, your partners like that. And it's kind of like letting go of some of that. I'm just going to be honest with you. There's also a sense of here of learning how to bring more pleasure into your life, right? Learning how to bring more physical pleasure into your life and allowing yourself to have that pleasure. Really putting in that work to get that pleasure, you know? And learning how to give it to yourself, not just physically, right? But also mentally and emotionally. Learning how to give that to yourself, putting in that work on how to bring that to yourself as well before you expect somebody else to give it. Well, what really does make me happy? What do I really want in a partner? Instead of just looking for a partner and then seeing, you know, if they make you happy, you're setting out like, this is kind of what, you know, kind of this in general, this feeling, this is what makes me happy, this is what brings me joy. And then, you know, finding a partner that matches that feeling with you, that matches to that feeling. Release the past. This enlightenment about releasing the past. Yeah, peace, Two of Swords. You know, and maybe it's, yeah, maybe it is kind of like blocking out that, kind of being like, no, it's okay. You know, no, it's okay. You know, when, you know, kind of when your mom starts, or your dad, or whoever, people in your family start going on about how, well, you'll never find a husband because you think like this, or you think like that, or you'll never find a husband that's okay with you acting like that, or, you know, whatever it is, right? Or, you know, you need to go ahead and find you a husband. You need to go ahead and find you a man. Like, I'll be happy. It's okay. I'll be happy either way, right? Maybe it's learning how to specifically block out some influences from your past, right? Or influences from your childhood, or influences from your past relationships, right? Don't make your next pay for your ex, right? Kind of energy. We talk about that here, right? Like, let it go. Let it go. Learn the red flags and warning signs, okay? But don't be don't be looking for them overly all the time, like, you know, Chariot. Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry. There's a lot of releasing energy here. It's moving away. It's saying, you know what? I don't want that. Right? I don't want to have that same relationship. It's okay, right? Uh Maybe, and I don't mean this specifically towards my friend, you know, but maybe look at some of these people's relationships, and then kind of see how their relationships are and how they handle them, and how, you know, what kind of relationship them and their partner have, before you really take on so much of their advice, right? Because it's like, that friend that's always talking to you about how terrible their husband is, maybe that's not the person to take the relationship advice from, because, you know, or that aunt or that uncle, you know, that single aunt or that single uncle, like, okay, yeah, your advice really got you somewhere good, didn't it? You know, and it's not to pass judgment on this person, but it's kind of to be like, you know, like, actually look at their relationship and what it's really like, you know. And I feel like a lot of you are probably a lot of you are already there, being like, yeah, no, I don't want a relationship like yours, so why should I take your advice, right? And it's not like, oh, I know so much better than you, or these people, you know, not that these people can't give you some, you know, legitimate advice, you know. But so much of the time we have people around us that give us advice based on their own fears, and based on their own, you know, misjudgments, or based on their own mistakes. And it's like, well, I don't want you to make the mistakes that I did. Well, we're two different people. That doesn't mean that I'm going to repeat the same mistakes as you, right? Oh my goodness. Magnus in reverse, that's the Magician in reverse, and this Lust card in reverse. As well as, oh, the Five of Cups, disappointment. Holy crap. I really feel like in the past you realized that you were manifesting from a place of lack, or you were manifesting from a place of codependency, and that really left you in this place of disappointing where you were, right? Being disappointed by where you were, and being disappointed by your past. You might have manifested from a place of control, wanting to control things. You know, you were manifesting in the past from a place of the shadow energy, right? From the sense of wanting someone to be something to you, instead of uh yeah, it's just like really manifesting from this place of wanting to control, right? And even maybe sometimes out of you wanting from a place of, I just want to be loved, or I just want to, you know, I just want to feel something, I just want my body to be touched, or whatever it was, with this Lust in reverse, right? And realizing that those places that you were manifesting partners, or reasons that you were accepting partners acting certain ways towards you, or acting certain ways about certain things, You know, you might have done that in the past and you're realizing, wow, I wasn't doing that from the best space. And all it did was give me a lot of disappointments, right? I was kind of it gave me a lot of regrets. It gave me a lot of like, wish I had never done that kind of energy, right? But you learn from it is what Spirit is saying. So allow yourself to know that you learned from it, that you're doing better now. And I'm not saying that there can't be people around you that give you sound, solid advice, okay? But you do have some energy around you, Queen of Pentacles. Also, you know, be careful of your own judgmental energy and be careful of other people's projecting their judgmental energy out there on you as well, okay? Princess of Cups. So Page of Cups. You actually, even though people might say things out of their own shadow self and out of their own fear, you actually have a lot of people around you that admire you. No, like it's like their higher self and their true selves inside. They really actually admire how brave you're being and how honest you're being and how open you're being and how hard you're trying and where you're going. A lot of them are really coming from a place of, I don't want you to make the same mistakes that I did, you know, in a genuine way, you know. And then some of them are coming from the place of, well, I believe what I made the choices that I did because of the way that I believe, you know. And to them it is, they're just giving you sound, you know, and right advice about love here. Two of Cups, right? um Oppression in reverse, that's the Ten of Wands in reverse. But it's about releasing this pressure that you feel around love, releasing this pressure. Oh, Ten of Swords right behind that, and the upright, ruin, right? Some of you might be like, I'm digging my vibe right now, and I'm worried that if I let this love come in, yes, look, Hermit mode, right? Hermit. If I let this love come in, you know, will it ruin my mood? Will it ruin what I got going on right now? You know? Yeah, I just keep hearing that with the Star card here coming out. It's not in the reverse. It came out in the reverse at first, and now it's coming out kind of like halfway. Like you're getting there. Worry. Worry's kind of there. Hangman energy. Have you made the realization, or are you still kind of stuck? There's all this like halfway to the realization, realizing some of it but not quite getting some of it, you know. And that's okay. Spirit says, you know, it takes time to get you there. Letting some worries go but still having some other worries, you know, it's all part of just letting go of the shadow energy, letting go of the shadow, you know, work and any kind of like judgment energy, right? That's what Spirit says. Some of you might really be like feeling that kind of like, well, look at look at your relationship. Why would I want it? I don't want that relationship, you know. um Spirit is saying, you know, kind of release some of that energy, right? And kind of see it from a much more compassionate and understanding. Like, you understand, you know, that those people just want you to be happy and they just want you to be in a happy relationship. But some of them can't give you advice outside of the advice that they, you know, that they obviously took themselves. Or, yeah, yeah. Wow, what is this? The Three of Swords, heartbreak and anger. Some of them say things out of a pain, right? Out of pain from their past. Like I said, right? I want you to save yourself from making the same mistakes that I did. And some of them, they might kind of go a little overboard with their advice because, you know, they're like, I made mistakes. Don't make the same mistakes that I did, right? And they genuinely mean that, but their advice is coming from a place of pain, right? Strife in reverse. Yes, they're like, I want you to choose the right choice. Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune. I don't want you to go through the same, you know, the same heartache that I had to go through. But that's their 3D, their shadow self saying that, their hurt self saying that, you know, their pains, their wounds, they're speaking from a place of that wounded, right? But their higher selves are saying that a lot of them are actually very proud and very just like, oh wow, like Like, they're standing in their truth. They're doing their thing. They're learning, you know. Maybe even learning, you know, like they're through the moves that you're making, people around you are kind of learning like, damn, like, could I have done that too? Could I have set up those boundaries and, you know, and really got the same thing, you know, like, damn. Because, you know, and sometimes it can inspire anger inside of us because we're like, what the hell? Like, you know, like, but it really is from a place of, you know, you have to be understanding that they're doing that from a place of wounding. Look at that. 10 of Cups in reverse, sanity in reverse, right? They're doing that from a place of Princess of this. It's the Page of Pentacles. They're like, you have an opportunity that I feel like I didn't have. Prince of Wands. That's the Page of Wands in reverse. They want you to have victory. And yes, some of them could have some jealousy about it too. You know, from their wounded shadow side, there could be some jealousy around it too. They feel like you have opportunities that they didn't. You know, we all know that as we're going through this, there will be people that try to convince you to make the same, to submit to the same limiting beliefs that they submitted to as well, right? And our refusal to submit to those beliefs kind of put this kind of perspective on this person, like, because some people make choices that are like, oh, I don't have it, you know, saying I don't have a choice, this is what I have to do. And then you making different choices kind of illuminates or shines that light on those people's shadow, like, damn, maybe I did have a different choice. Like damn, maybe I could have made a different choice. So Spirit is saying right now, it's really crucial for you to be aware of whose energy you're absorbing and exactly what energy, you know, is coming from where towards you. The sun, yeah. Stay in the light, right? Stay enlightened. Stay in the, you know, stay in the light. Stay in your light side, or balance in your light and your shadow. Okay, like don't let other people's shadow, them projecting their shadow onto you, make you come any less out of your happiness or out of your light, right? Stay manifesting out of the good, right? Yeah, and 6 of Wands, that's how you get victory. So keep going, right? Art in reverse. The Devil in reverse on the back of the deck. Tell me more about this art in reverse. Oh, wait, actually. Art in reverse. Okay, that's a lot. Page of Swords. That's a lot. Okay, Page of Swords. I am bringing forth the truth. Yeah, like I said, you're shining a lot onto the shadow side. I didn't have any choice. This is just the way that it is. And then people see you breaking the mold and they're like, wait, what? Damn. Yeah, it's the Judgment card, Awakening, right? Definitely. And with this Queen of Wands here, I am an accomplished teacher. You really are showing those people, right? You really are showing those people around you. So I'm saying don't expect it, but don't be surprised or don't take it personally, because it's really not about you. Don't take it personally if you do get some kind of limiting beliefs really cast onto you when you're breaking the molds, like, you know, you'll probably never be able to do that, or, you know, it's just so unlikely that you'll actually be able to get that person that you want. It's like, no, I'll do it. Because Queen of Swords, I have healthy boundaries. Don't let people convince you of them not having healthy boundaries, convince you to not have healthy boundaries as well, right? And right, 7 of Cups, I have options. You got options, right? You got options. You got a lot of different opinions coming towards you, a lot of different choices coming towards you, right? So Spirit is saying, you know, choose from your light side instead of from your shadow side. Choose from your light instead of from your shadow. Choose You know, you're doing this shadow work. Don't, you know, because I think in the past you did. In the past you did. You chose from your shadow instead of from your light. But now you're learning how to not do that. It's really powerful. It's really beautiful. It's really beautiful. Very powerful. Okay, bye. Hierophant being thrown out of the spread. So what's leaving this? Tradition, right? Old traditions. No, that's just the way relationships are. No, that's just the way love works, right? And whether or not that's, you know, it's like other people have subscribed to this, so they're just like, that's just the way that it works. Fealty, you know, right? We all just fell in line. You should fall in line too. No. Well, damn, did I have to not believe that? Like, no. That creates that stirring in people, right? Which that stirring could turn into, I don't want to say something as strong as lashing out. Like for some of you, it could be people lashing out. You should, I don't know why you're trying to change so much. Why are you trying to be so different? You know, just do what you need to do. You know, just do what all the rest of us did and conform, you know? That's not really how it works. All the rest of us who have been in really, have been in relationships this whole time, we kind of know how relationships work more than you. Well, you know how your relationships work, but I want something different, but I want something unique, and I want something that's my own, and I want something else. I want something different than what you have. Not saying that what you have is wrong, but it's not right for me, right? And it's like, no, I don't. No, I won't conform. No, I don't consent to the same, being the same like everyone else did. For some of you, you might be really manifesting in some like non-traditional unions, okay? And I don't know, what that looks like for you, but yeah, Ace of Swords, right? You're standing in your truth. You're holding up this truth. You're finding that new way, that new beginning for yourself, that new thought process. You're finding your personal alignment with your truth, right? Look at this. Interference, the Eight of Swords in reverse, right? So not letting other people's thought process stand in your way, not letting your own old thought process stand in your way either, right? Queen of Swords in reverse, right? Being careful about other people, about this not having this boundaries, right? Not having this boundaries. That brings Three of Swords sorrow and Ten of Swords ruin, right? Recognizing that this not having these healthy boundaries, and then also, having that kind of harsh tone towards other people as well about something that you might perceive as a mistake that they made, right? About their relationship. Don't take it personally if you have some people around you that kind of lash out or have those kind of negative limiting beliefs. Just create the distance in between emotionally in those people's opinions and what you take on. Just create that distance in between that, because you are realizing that not having these boundaries that you did not have in the past, okay, led you to this Ten of Swords, led you to this three. You're like, no. It's like looking back, seeing that, old past situations and old past ways that friends and family members compromised led them to be in not so happy relationships, or led them to be in, from places where they're still acting out of places of fear and guilt, but not holding that against them, right? Because right here, it's the same sword that's on this Ace of Truth. It's on Ace of Truth. It's on this Ace of Swords, right? Look at the hilt. With the two crescent moons, right? It's the same sword here, right? Their truth led them to sorrow, and it doesn't, you're realizing that, what, I don't want it to be that way for me. right? Because here, look, right here, it's the same symbol from this Three of Swords, with these three swords coming together here, piercing that heart, right? The traditional sense of the Three of Swords. Making these choices, making choices in partnership, making these choices in love, making these choices about yourself from this place of hurt and this place of wounding, excuse me, from this place of hurt and this place of wounding, leads to this Ten of Swords, leads to this self-betrayal of who you really are, of standing in your real truth, standing in your most healed truth, right? So there's a lot of transmuting that you're doing here, you know, and you're kind of realizing like, oh, okay, I really see that. Yeah, it's kind of okay, I see that, and I'm releasing it. And it's a, you know, and it's kind of stepping aside and understanding that you questioning your reality makes other people kind of look at you like, wait, what? You're trying something completely new and going completely off the wall. Like, that makes no sense. And understand that it doesn't make sense to that person from their perspective, because they are in, you know, they are in the choices that they made, right? They are in the choices they made for their lives. And just because it doesn't, it would not be the choice that they made, or that does not mean that it's not the right choice for you. Okay. And just because the choice that they made is not your choice does not mean that it, you know, does not mean that it's not the, you know, the choice that that person made. You know, they made their choice, and you know, their path is their path, and you have to release any kind of anger or pain, or, you know, like fears of going against, you know, to not falling in tradition, to bucking against the system. Let go of any of those, let go and release of any of the pain of it, right? Release the pain. Let go of any of the fear of releasing the past, and because understanding that what was built before did not serve you. You know, it's all a part of ascension, and there's many stages of your ascension, right? And I feel like a lot of you are in the process now where you are ascending to the point where it puts you in a sense of being having a high enough perspective to see that there are certain choices that other people made, and the results that those choices got that person, and you're like, I don't want that. And there can be a sense of like, why can't you see that you clearly made the wrong choice? But it's not about them making, you know, like, you're judging them on, you wouldn't make that choice. But just be grateful for the fact that you can learn from their mistakes, or you can learn from that, and to understand that your friends and your family and other people around you, the advice that they give you, it could be coming from a place of their shadow. It could be coming from a place of them being really hurt in the past, and them not wanting that same hurt to affect you or to happen to you. So to them, it's really coming from a place of love, but in honesty, it is coming from a place of fear. um, but, you know, to drop any kind of judgments or anger that you have towards those feelings, because they don't have the same perspective that you do, and that's okay, right? You don't have their perspective, and that's okay too, right? Let people kind of do their own thing. So you might be coming up to a place where you're kind of making choices and making decisions, and you're not really asking for a lot of people's opinions, right? And you might be getting some opinions, even though you might not be asking for them, right? But it's the spirit is saying it's your job to keep to your true north, regardless, right? Not saying that other people can't give you opinions, but if you know, you know, you will be able to know the difference between when somebody's giving you advice from their light or from their higher self or from their shadow self, right? There's also somebody in, I don't know who this person is, but there's somebody in this just, ooh, they're having some really bad issues, and I don't know what their issue is, but they're projecting a shit ton of their issues onto you, though. I feel that energy, because it doesn't feel like it's, yeah, oppression, like, they're projecting a shit ton of their issues onto you, and I don't get what this energy is. Like, I don't know. This could be coming from within you, It could be energy that you're having from within yourself, so other people are reflecting that back towards you. So be aware of that. You know, if you feel like a lot of judgmental energy coming towards you, make sure that you are not spreading that energy out yourself. Okay, be mindful of the energy that the thoughts that you are thinking about, the people around you, even if yeah. Queen of Wands in reverse. It's Queen of Wands in reverse energy, this judgmental energy. Um, be mindful of that within yourself, okay? Be mindful of that within yourself, and be mindful of that. Yeah. Or be mindful of that within other people, because you have energies of people around you, your inner shadow self, as well as a person that reflects this. We talked about this in the reading that I did not too long ago. About this Queen of Wands energy that you have around you, where there is a person around you reflecting a lot of the same energy that your shadow self is kind of casting out. And it's this worry about change. You have somebody around you who's so worried about all the change that you're going through. And they're worried about you from a place of they just want you to be safe and be stable. But it's really reflecting this inner shadow self inside of you that's like, all this newness, I can't, it's not what I want. It's not what I'm used to. It's scaring me, like all these new thoughts and all these new things that you're asking me to, experience. Your shadow self is operating out of fear about that and worry about that, right? About all the changes that you're going through around you, finding stability in this new place that you're going. Sun, but yeah, but the sun, enlightenment, you're being enlightened to this. And you're getting this ace of disc, right? You're getting this sun, and see how this ace of disc is coming through here is this sun energy. It's like coming here, being manifested into the 3D, and it's giving you this sun, energy here, right? So yeah, keep going inside, keep healing, keep cleansing yourself, keep separating yourself away from this Queen of Wands shadow energy. Oh, excuse me. Wow. Oh, I just had to process so much energy there. That is such a big energy. So be aware of that, okay? The sun energy is coming out here. The universe is coming to shine this really bright light on this energy around you. Debauch, yeah, debauchery, like this debauch energy here in reverse, right? Let go. Look at all that green slimy, just like ooh, like energy that you're really dropping and you're letting go of. A side of you might be just really just kind of like you're like this shadow side of you is having a really hard time really accepting and allowing this to happen. Okay, but Wheel of Fortune, okay? Spirit is saying that it's time for it to happen, that this wheel is turning upright for you to release and let go of this, right? For you to let go of all this kind of, so you might be having this energy show up in your life through like judgmental feelings about other people, or judgmental feelings about yourself, or other people marrying that judgmental energy towards you. You might be having like, why can't you just understand me? Why can't you just be happy for me? Kind of thoughts about people around you. And to just see, that's kind of with this Ace of Wands in reverse, that's kind of a negative energy that you're feeding into. So kind of detach yourself if you're feeling, if that's your energy, if you've been feeling any of that, energy of, oh, everybody around you, if you've been watching those, oh, people are getting karma around you, and your thought process is, oh yeah, that's what they get, yeah, that's what they deserve, kind of check yourself on that energy, okay? Because the energy that you put out is the energy that you get back. So if you're putting out that kind of, yeah, they deserve to be punished energy, watch out, right? Because you're going to be finding yourself manifesting that energy in for yourself, right? So if you are concentrating on the fact that you feel like other people are confused and they don't know what they're talking about, you might have some of that own energy coming back towards you, right? So watch out for that. Or kind of change that thought process so that you're not manifesting that for yourself or for other people around you. There is this feeling of that, so be careful about that. Be careful about this kind of because You know, you might be saying some things like that out of a place of being really, your shadow might be coming through with some really harsh energy and judgments about yourself. That's what they're saying. Because the shadow energy is really worried. Four of Cups. Luxury. Yeah, your shadow self feels abandoned because you're walking away. You're not listening to them anymore. You're not paying attention to them anymore. This can also be being manifested in some people around you too. They feel a separation away from you, or they feel like your ideals are changing. And that just happens. You know, we fall out of such tight alignment with some friends and family and people around us because we're just viewing the world differently, we're viewing ourselves differently, we're viewing what we want differently. So some people might be feeling rejected about, you know, like I said, you might be getting some advice and you're like, I don't know about that. And this person is like, they take that as a personal rejection of them because they're like, and it's not personal about you, right? So it's really about them. It's really about the things that they're going through. It's really, like I said, it's that feeling that you're stirring up inside them of, damn, maybe I could have made different choices. Because they've been telling themselves, no, I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a choice. And now they see you making choices and they're thinking, damn, did I actually have a choice? They have a choice. Did I? It's like the wheels are slowly starting to turn. Oh shit, maybe I did have a different choice. No, fuck that. They don't know what they're talking about, you know, and it kind of might slide back and it might come back around. But your choices and your ascension and what you're going through and your enlightenment is actually really having, like, people are witnessing it and it's having this effect like damn, could I have made different choices? Like, I convinced myself I didn't have a choice, but could I have followed my dreams like I wanted to? Could I have told myself that I could have done better, or I could have done something different? You know, that kind of energy, and it might create this kind of rejection energy. Also, like I said, that's reflecting inside of you because your shadow is feeling very rejected by you right now because you're like, look, I'm not listening to you anymore. Look at, like, we're not making these decisions out of fear, out of worry, out of doubt anymore. And your body, your old self, is so used to doing that you know, you're kind of like, what the hell? Like, this is how we've always thought. This is how we've always walked. What's wrong with the way that we view things? And it's like, it hasn't got us to a place that we like. And it's like, what? Like, that doesn't make any sense, you know? So it's this big transitional time right here. A lot of you could be going through a really big ego death too. A lot of integration. Yeah. Spirit is saying, right? Spirit is saying, Six of Pentacles. No, ma'am, get down. You're going to have a lot of success around this, right? Success. Right? You're going to have this. You're going to have this enlightenment. You're going to have this. So keep those dreams about yourself alive, right? Keep those standards where they are. Keep your boundaries where they are. Don't let the fact that other people cross their boundaries make you feel like, you know, that you have to cross your boundaries too. Because really their higher self, like I said, their higher selves and their real selves, really down deep, if they were really honest with themselves, are like, I'm proud of them. I'm proud of the choices. They're making different choices and I'm proud of that. But their shadow selves are like, no, fuck that, blah, blah. Because it's making them think, like, could they have made different choices? Could they have chosen something different for themselves? You know? Could they still choose something different from themselves? You know? And that's not just strictly around relationships. That's just around them talking and them conversing with their shadow self in general, right? Valor. I did notice this. Seven of Wands. Yeah, it might be triggering some people to feel very defensive about their choices, right? You saying, no, I want to make different choices, kind of trigger somebody to go, well, what's wrong with the choices that I made? Well, they're not for me. Well, what's wrong with them? What's wrong with them? You know, so, you know, you might have to be kind of also feeling like in the past, like you're also trying to be like, look, like I just feel something different. I just want to do something different. Like, let me be me. Let me go and do something different. And it's Spirit saying, you know, I know that it might not seem fair, but it's really not about you. It's really about themselves. right? It's really about their own choices and their own issues, and they're kind of working those out through talking to you, or through talking, or through this particular thing with you. Yeah. Okay, right? They're looking at Knight of Disc, okay, the Knight of Pentacles. They're looking at all of the kind of things that stood in their way, all of the things that slowed them down. I don't know why, but I don't know if you guys watch the Game of Thrones, but I was so guided to look at this man's, like, the helmet on his head, and it's like a stag with all these like horns, and I just thought about the Baratheons. I don't know, that might be some kind of you know, some kind of reference for you, right? Also, I just did a reading about what messages are coming through for you, and this is this Knight of Pentacles that's here is standing in the wheat field. That came through. You might have been in the group, though. I talked about that. Talked about them standing in that wheat field, or standing in that seeing their way through that. Right? You're gonna have to hold on, miss. The universe. Yeah, again, right? They're just saying they're shining that light. You're shining that light on some parts of yourself, and it might be very uncomfortable, and it might be uncomfortable to people around you, right? But you have to just keep going through, keep pushing through, keep transmuting your energy, keep keep cleansing yourself of their energy, keep cleansing yourself of the shadow energy, of this thought process of feeling this rejected energy, because your shadow is feeling kind of rejected, which is why it might be rearing its ugly head in the form of anger or judgment, or towards other people, right? Because the shadow energy is like, oh no, I've been the one running the show, I don't want to give this up, so keep pushing yourself through that, right? Keep telling your shadow it's okay, like, I'm not leaving you behind, where I'm just not listening solely to you, right? I understand your place. Um, I understand the advantages that you give me, but I'm not solely listening to you, right? All right, you guys, that's really what I have for you. Okay, I hope this gave you some love, light, and clarity that you needed to know about any of this particular situation. Okay, what you're going through right now, especially around like your love energy. Um, Yeah, and keep working through that shadow energy, you guys. Keep with the star. Keep working through that inner child healing. A lot of you have some really big wounds around love and connections and things that your inner child, that you're doing. You're doing a good job, okay, you guys. But just be aware, right? Just be aware of that. All right. So don't allow, keep kind of cleansing out that energy, and keep, don't let people trigger you. Don't give away your power to other people, keep that. Don't let your shadow self trigger you into, going off, or having this miscommunications, or having this misunderstandings with other people around you, right? Like, you might have really been feeling that kind of Mercury retrograde feeling, or energy might have been coming up a lot as anger for you, okay, and feeling not heard. 818 down on the real-time clock. Okay, thank you guys, like I said, so much for being here. I really appreciate y'all. Okay, let me know if this resonated for you down in the comment section down below. If you feel guided to, please watch any of my other readings. Okay. Thank you so much to everyone who leaves a lovely comment down below, who resonates with this, who shares, who likes the content. Okay, it really helps me out. Or anybody who donates to the channel, or leaves a tip to the channel, or gets a personal reading from me. All the information from that is listed down in the description box down below. You just scroll down and it's down there, okay, as well as information on any of the card decks that I used. Okay, again, thank you guys so much for being here with me today, and I will see you in the next ones. Bye.